Magic,
So
a bag of magic mine, that's gold.
yeah, I just gave him a big badge, that's how I'm paying him. This is magic.
That's great.
Yeah. All right, let's get to this. Let's talk about Iger's new strategy. Thunderbolts is Marvel's new strategy. Indeed it is. Hold on. Holy shit, that's terrible. All right, let's see. Nope, that's not it. There you go. Okay. Good Lord. Disney CEO Bob Iger says that Marvel Studios Thunderbolts is I gotta stop that. This is the prime example of Disney's new quality over quantity approach when it comes to Marvel fare. Speaking with the Wall Street analysts about the studio's quarterly results, Iger says that the solid results for the first 3 months of this year by the studio are a result of the Mouse House's new approach with the fewer works and more separation between film and TV. This time last year, he said Marvel's plan to reduce output and focus more on quality, with the plans to reduce their output to around 2 TV series a year instead of 4, and reduce their film output from 2 or 3. The aim is essentially for fewer projects, fewer flops. Well, no shit. Turning each of the launches into more of an event. He said, in our zeal to flood out streaming platform with more content, we turned to all of our creative engines, including Marvel, and had them produce a lot more. We've also learned over time that quantity does not necessarily beget quality. Frankly, we've all admitted to ourselves that we lost a little focus by making too much. By consolidating a bit and having Marvel focus much more on their films, we believe it will result in better quality, and I think the first and best example of that is Thunderbolts. In terms of the overall Disney slate, he says he has a lot of confidence in it, saying it's as strong as any slate that I've seen in a long time. Well, in 2019, I think was our best year, the strongest I've seen since then. That slate includes Lilo and Stitch, Elio, The Fantastic Four First Steps, Tron Ares, Zootopia 2, Avatar, Fire and Ash this year, and then Avengers Doomsday, The Mandalorian, and Grogu, and the live-action Moana next year. Steph, you hear these comments by Bob Iger. What do you make of them?
You guys did it. You did it. Trade Coffee is back. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy. I love Trade Coffee. They are my lifeline at this point. I love them so much because coffee it's an essential for me. And I know it's not just a drink. It's a ritual. It's a lifeline. It's the bridge between half asleep and ready to conquer the day. And if it's that essential, why would you settle for anything less than extraordinary? That's where Trade comes in. It is the #1 U.S. coffee destination. It brings you fresh coffee from over 50 of the country's top roasters. You take the quiz, and in under a minute, they're going to match you with your perfect coffee. If that first bag isn't quite right, Trade's going to replace it for free until they nail it. If you're headed out on summer vacation, with Trade subscription flexibility, you can pause it, or you can shift delivery while you're away and resume when you're home, ensuring you'll come home to great coffee. And that is exactly what I've been doing. I have gotten to a place where I got this massive, huge, big bag. And I'll be honest, I thought, I'm not going to be able to go through all this. Blasted through this bag because it's so delicious, and I'm showing it off to everybody. When people come over and they're visiting and guests, you got to try this coffee. And that's exactly what I do. I got everybody talking about Trade, and that's why they came back. And right now, Trade is exclusively offering our listeners 50% off your 1-month trial at drinktrade.com/Kristian. That's drinktrade, TRADE.com/Kristian for 50% off your 1-month trial. drinktrade.com/Kristian. You know why they're back, guys? Because of you guys. That's why they're back. You guys have seen how good they are. Get yourself some Trade. You will not regret it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that focusing on quality rather than quantity is the way a lot of studios are going. It was just the natural ebb and flow, I think, of inventing streaming, having streaming just progressively grow into the biggest thing ever, and then having the pandemic and the strike, and people are just so they just overloaded on streaming, and now it did hurt their movie model. So I think that it's exciting that Thunderbolts is being so well received. I wish they could have had that same energy with Captain America. It would have been nice to start the year like that, but that's okay. I'm just excited that they're back on track. I think it's cool for everyone who works at Marvel, and like all the people involved, the studios, and trying so hard to make these stories work. I'm glad they're working now.
It is, and it is good to see it. And I think that if you look at, I think the Captain America side of it was in the transition between what they're doing now. I also don't understand. You know what I realize though too, and you have to look at it this way. This is not an insult because you and I are considered YouTubers and people on the internet and things that I just think a lot of people that do this don't really understand how the business works. And like I saw some videos and things that you're like, oh man, Thunderbolts, it made a little less than Captain America. That's a big box office disappointment. Oh man, it's failed. What are they going to do now? Captain America can say that about, because regardless of what they say, that budget was ballooned to 350, 400 with the 2 weeks. I don't give a shit what anybody says. It was a balloon budget, and it also it cost a lot of money overall. And first week was big, and it was not. And first week was the week that people came in not big. It was a good weekend that they wanted. It was the second weekend that dropped off completely, and there was no word of mouth about it. It was like it was either it's fine or it was terrible, right? That's not the case with this. They already changed the name for the marketing of this movie, and they're already looking at a smaller drop from what they said on the second week. It made the 75 that it was projected to originally. That's what it was projected to do. So it was on par. That's how because people said, "Oh, it didn't do better," or 85, it's a failure. You don't understand how the business works. Now, I'm not telling you that if week 2, if there's a huge drop, and I've said this many times over, if week 2 turns out to be a 75% drop and it eats shit in week 2, well, then you can start saying that. You can start saying that. But you don't understand the business if you say, "Oh man, it beat Captain America, it beat it. It's a failure." You don't understand how the business works. Second week is key. It could very well be a failure. If it doesn't pick up, if it has like a 75% drop, could be a failure. But right now, it looks like it's tracking to do pretty well.
Yeah, I feel like the word of mouth with it has been really good, and to me, that really matters almost more than anything these days with getting to the theater. People just wanna know, like, "Oh, is it a movie I should go see so that we can talk about and that I need to talk about it now? Okay, then I'll go." And then sometimes takes some weeks to trickle in,
Yeah.
especially when Marvel is kind of revamping its loyalty. So I'm excited to see what it does this week, and I hope it does really good.
I do too. You're going to see it, so we're excited to see
Yep,
what
I'm
you.
one of them.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what you think about it. So I got to ask you guys, what are your thoughts on Iger's comments? Because for me, I didn't really kind of address it, to be honest with you. Iger's comments, it's like, yes, of course, you know what? Not this time. Not this time. That stupid thing. Not that time. I turned it off, Steph, before I could.
That was a
Stupid ad.
very old school ring.
Yeah, no, it was an ad.
Oh.
So I like what he did. I like what he's talking about. I like how he's saying it. It's like it makes sense. I wish Roka was on the show, because I'll bring it up to him on Monday, because I saw his tweet and I don't agree with it. He's like, "Oh, of course he's saying that now. Of course he's saying that now. It's that the fact that it's doing well and everyone loves it. Of course he's championing it now." And I understand what he was saying, but I still think that there was a reason why we were talking about this movie could be a high quality movie in the way that they were approaching it. And
Yes.
and it seems like I don't know if it's a lot of studios, but it seems like Disney right now, it has gotten the note, cut your budgets. Now Avengers is going to be astronomical. We know that. But the rest of the movies, they're scaling down on budgets, and I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
But I like these comments. But I'll ask the audience what they thought of the comments. Digging it, not digging it. What say you? Put your thoughts in there. I got to know.